Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. YouTube, Ali here. Basically responding to a video created by Josh. Josh, peace and blessings to you. And very first thing I'd like to say is, if you don't mind, for future videos, not using as much obscene language because I recently found out that there are a lot of kids watching my videos, and I would prefer we keep this, general for anyone to look at. I hope you don't get offended by that, and I hope you can understand why I'm asking you to please keep it PG-13 at least. Okay. You asked a bunch of questions, and I'll try to touch on all of them, and hopefully I don't make this video too long. You talked about chapter 9 of the Quran, that I should read it and explain it to you. Well, there's a lot in the chapter. What it does is what that whole chapter does is it outlines the principles for war, what you would do if you were fighting, and it's very unfortunate that some people take it and misrepresent it. And when I say some people, I'm not referring to Christians only. I'm referring to Muslims. There are Muslims that take this out of context and they go killing themselves and this, that, the other. Islam teaches you against suicide. So suicide bombers right there is haram. If you die in the path of fighting, it's different than if you go killing yourself to kill other people. And that is not what Islam teaches. Okay, so these guys that take the Quran out of context and promote these evil wars, I mean, Allah knows better, God knows better, but in my opinion, they are the biggest sinners out there, because you should not be killing innocent people. The Quran explicitly forbids killing the innocent people. Okay, so that's the first thing. Then you asked me about what else did you ask me about? You were saying that you wanted to learn about Islam, and what I would suggest to you is going to the Quran, and whatever topic you want to figure out about, be it life, marriage, whatever, search that topic up in the Quran and see what the Quran talks about it. Because the Quran is a very big book. I mean, I have a physical copy of the Quran. This one is this specific translation is by Abdullah Yusuf Ali, and I think he does a pretty good translation. There's also Mamdu Piktal. There's also a lot of different other translations you can find online. You can just go and read it and see for yourself. I believe you might have one because you were saying that you read the Quran. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that again, a lot of what's in the Quran can be easily misinterpreted if you don't read the context. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of reading. Okay, ever since I was a kid, I would get people to read for me. If you need me to explain how I did that, I'll tell you. But I just hated to read. Okay, that's why I went into engineering. Honestly, I mean, to me, 1 and 1 always equal 2. I don't ever have to worry about, well, someone else can interpret it to be 3 or someone else can interpret it to be 1. And that's just how I am. That's how I'm built. Okay. So that's that bit of it. So you can go in there. If there's any specific verse in chapter 9 that you want me to discuss with you and explain to you what the context is saying, you can just shoot me a video, and I'll do my best to explain to you what I understand by that. And I appreciate if we do this in video, because typing just gets annoying after a while. Then you asked about why it is that I don't believe Osama bin Laden was responsible for 9/11. Well, first thing first, unless it doesn't come out of his mouth, I'm never going to believe what the news media says. That's the first thing. And why is that? Because I'll give you a prime example. When what do you call it? Saddam Hussein was going to get hanged. The news was saying, oh, he's trembling, this, that, the other, da. When that little cell phone camera video came out, all of a sudden the whole thing changed. And because of that, I am very skeptical of what the news tells me. And I'm also very skeptical about what our government tells us. You think about Iraq again. Like, 5 years ago, when they were talking about going in and invading Iraq, it was not because of freeing the people. it was not because of, you know, implementing democracy. It was because Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction and we need to go in there, otherwise he's going to blow up the world. That is why they went into Iraq. All of a sudden, weapons of mass destruction disappeared. There's no weapons of mass destruction anymore. All there is freeing the people. And I'm sorry to say, they're going to have a very long battle, and America is going to leave, and it's going to become another Afghanistan. It's just inevitable. Whenever you try to force democracy on a country, that is exactly what will happen. If it doesn't happen from, if democracy does not happen from within a country, it will never last. It may last for 10 years while the Americans are there, but once they leave, it will go back into chaos. I'm not a prophet or anything. You know, God knows better. It might work, but just from my looking at this situation, there's no way it's going to just happen like that. Okay. Getting back to Osama bin Laden. So this is why I am not going to believe the news. I'm not going to believe my government until Osama bin Laden doesn't say in his mouth that I did it. I'm not going to believe him. Okay, believe that, you know, he did it. Second thing is this thing that there are a lot of videos that you can search right here on YouTube. There's one called what is it? Loose Change. You can look at that. There's another one, 9/11 in plain sight. There's another one, 9/11 conspiracy revealed. I mean, those are three videos that I've looked at, and they basically point to the fact that, you know, it couldn't be some guy sitting in a cave in Afghanistan. Okay, and the other thing too, I mean, just think about it a little bit. Okay, our Pentagon, which is the most secure place in the world, only got a video shot of 5 frames to show us this big plane flying and blowing itself up into the Pentagon. Outside of that, there was a videotape taken from a gas station that was pointed in that direction that we still haven't seen yet. Don't you think there's something kind of odd with that? Just think about that a second. I mean, forget all the conspiracy theories and everything else like that. If this was truly a plane, why haven't we seen that video? Outside of that, we're talking about a commercial jet. We're not talking about, like a tank flying into the Pentagon. Okay, why wasn't there, like, you know, bigger debris there? I mean, they were able to find the passport of one of the guys in that blew up the World Trade Center, and they couldn't even find a body, not a body, in the Pentagon. Just think a little, my friend. Okay, I mean, I don't know. It is possible that Osama bin Laden is responsible, but I'm not going to blame him until I hear from his lips that he did it. I hope you can understand where I'm coming from. I mean, unfortunately, you know, we're not told the truth by our government, and we're not told the truth by the media, because the media is controlled by the government. Okay, and then, yeah, it's just you have to think a little. Don't just get spoon fed, because you know, once you're being spoon fed, there's no way that you'll be able to decipher the truth from the false. And, you know, the Prophet ﷺ told us that, coming to the end of time, that a lie whispered, not even told in a voice that you can hear, a whispered lie will be believed more than, you know, someone yelling the truth on the top of their lungs. And that is something that I find it to be very pretty much the truth, what's happening today. You know, and another thing is that I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here, but you just have to watch out, my friend. Just watch out. Just take some time, sit back, and just think about what's being told to you on the news. You know, I don't know how to explain that to you. I really don't know how to explain. You just have to be careful, because we're not being told the truth. And the other thing, there's this thing that, you know, I'll tell you why I believe the news media is biased. From the time they use the word terrorist, I know that they're biased. Why? Just go back in history a little bit. William Wallace, you know, we all saw Braveheart, right? He was actually a real person. You know, To England, he was a terrorist. To Scotland, he was a hero. Had England won the war, he would have been left in the history book as a terrorist. But because they won, he is a hero. Just think about that a little bit. Alright, so this is why I tell you, and I tell all my viewers really, that you be careful of the news that you listen to, because it's very possible that it is not the truth. With that, I end the video. Hopefully that makes sense to you. I look forward to your response. And again, whatever challenge you have, or if you have a specific question that you'd like me to create a video and discuss with you about Islam, please let me know, and I'll do my best. Again, I'm not a scholar by any means at all. Oh, I almost forgot. Jihad. You also mentioned that, I talked about jihad. Jihad, I should let you know what that means. Jihad means a struggle in the path of Allah. Okay? That's what jihad means. Okay? It can be a war, like most people think it is, but it can also be, just struggle within yourself, a mental war, a mental struggle. It can be a financial struggle. It can be, there are so many other things that you can struggle for in the path of Allah. Okay, and that's why I tell you mine is a political jihad, in the sense that I would like people to know the truth about Islam. I'd like people to understand what Islam really teaches. And again, I'm not a scholar, and there's so much I know that the Qur'an has that I can share with you, but I have a very limited knowledge, and until someone doesn't give want a specific answer, I probably may never come over those things that I can share with you and just open your eyes about, wow, this is really from God. But inshallah, I'm sure that you'll ask me some questions and we'll take it from there. With that, I end this video. Hopefully it made sense to you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.